Yeah, yeah. Because there's so many. You want some coffee? I made us cold brew.
Yeah, I'd love some.
I made cold brew. 3 ice cubes each. That's not, that's nothing new. Let's see how we did. Oh, well, see, here's the thing. I usually have it in the fridge. So you're going to have to let this one, because last night I made it, so I usually put it in I keep it in a honey jar, usually. But I made it last night, so it didn't get to sit. I poured in the honey jar, and then it usually sits in the fridge. But it didn't have time to do that. This is my selection of cereal I buy in bulk.
You're particular about how you keep it.
I'm not, but like you think I guess I would be, but that's how I guess it could look. I have the lay of the land here. I play music. You're here now. I eat pizza 4 to 6 to 7 times a week. There's many different kinds of pizzas. And this, you know what I mean, in terms of like, there's trash pizza, there's like super trash pizza, then there's, Vinny's, which is a fancy version of like regular New York pizza. I feel like John's and Grimaldi are in the same category where they like do it in this coal and the crust has that like, on the bottom of the crust, it's got like the crispy black, and it's got that texture within your fingers. Then you have the artisanal fancy pizzas, which is your Roberta's pizza, or your Paulie G's pizza, which are both really great. But that's like fancy man Brooklyn. That's like this. I can eat an entire pizza. Like if I can eat the whole pizza, like there are times when I can eat a lot of pizza. We split a pizza. Like, if I can eat your whole fucking pizza, like, there's something. That's a thing. If you can make me a pizza and bring it out to me, and, like, I can house that whole thing, no holds bar, there's, like, that's something. That's a problem. So those are them. And, like, all of the, like, people are like, oh, yeah, this is this, and this is this, and this is this, and then, like, but the thing is, it was always, like chirping in the back of my brain. It's like, oh yeah. They're like, oh yeah, have you been to Defara? And it's like, the thing is, like, before I'd eaten Defara, it was always like in the back of it, people were always like, Defara. You know what I mean? It's so funny because it's so true. Because like I knew about it, but it's like Defara. Like everyone kind of was like, this is the best. And, like, that's such a subjective word. Because, like, your best is different than, like, everyone's best could be totally different. But, like, I just kept hearing, like, oh, yeah, this is the best. And I was like, oh, I need to get out there. Like, when you're like, oh, yeah, I'll get out there. I thought it. And then, so I went out there. And so we figured out how to get there. We made our way down to Midwood. And then we walked over. And it's like nothing special, but it's the most special place like that you see from the outside. Because it's like right next to the subway and it's like the hustle and bustle, but it's Midwood, so there's nobody fucking there. But there's tons of people. But so I walk up. And like when I walk up to places, or go into places that are new to me. I don't know if you do this, but I do this. Like when I walk up to places, I like to go very, like, observingly slow. I wanted to, like, because I was like, I wanted to feel, I was like, this is a place, and I wanted to, like, feel the time. And so, like, I get to the door, and I open the door, and I remember, I'll never forget it, because, like, I open the door, and every single, like, I open it, and immediately, I smelled every single smell individually. It was like dough, basil, mozzarella, Parmesan, olive oil. And there's like, and it's not very big. Like you walk in, it maybe seats 15 people. It's like kind of not gross, but like it's not like clean. It's like an old pizza joint. There's a man in his 80s moving at a snail's pace, just kind of like doing his thing. And I'm taking this all in. And I'm like, what is going on? The thing about it is that nobody else makes the pizza except for this old man Dom. Like his son, he brings him like the carafe of olive oil. It reminds me of, you know, when the Tin Man gets oiled. It was like a little oil, like an old oil canister. But like, they don't touch the fucking pizza. And Dom has these arthritic, bulbous, kind of flour-covered hands because he makes pizza for 11 hours a day for the past like 50 years. And like you're watching him make it, and it's just like an intricate process, and you're just watching it. And I stood there in awe of it, and there was also no seats. So like I couldn't fucking sit down, and I would have sat down, but like I couldn't. And so like we waited and I watched, and it was like a theater show. It was like a beautiful production of pizza. We waited. I'm out of my mind. Food affects people differently. I'm a lunatic. I'm so hungry that I've crossed over, I've peeked over into the point where like I'm blacked out. And then, you know, finally, 1 hour later, they call our name, and I walk up, and the pizza's in front of me. Like out from the side, you know, like Dom kind of, you know, hobbles over. He comes over with this, you know, with a pile of parm. And like slowly sprinkles it on top of this already made pizza. And as the parm starts to kind of integrate itself like into the pie, then he goes over and he takes like a giant bushel of basil and like pruning shears, and he starts snipping it like over the pizza. The final touch was another like drizzle of the tin can of olive oil, and then like slowly backs away from it, and then like cuts it in front of my face with the same hands that he made the pizza with these same like giant mitts. And then he walks away. I was like, there's your bye. And so so I'm like, oh my, I'm like, look, I'm also blacked out. I'm ready. Like I have no idea what's going on. I'm completely gone. I'm so far in space, because it was as though it was, I mean, it was coupled with the fact that like I just witnessed like God make my pizza, mixed with I'm so starving, and it was an hour long. And so like the coveted, you know, tabernacle of pizza that I had now gotten myself into, it was like so special. So anyways, I split it up and I let it cool a little bit, and I start to eat it, and the same thing that happened when I opened the door of the pizza restaurant happened in my mouth. Like I take a bite, and it's like dough, 1, 2, 3. Sauce, 1, 2, 3. Mozzarella, 1, 2, 3. Parmesan, 1, 2, 3. Basil. And as I'm eating this piece of pizza, the first thing I knew right off the bat, after being able to decipher the individual ingredients, you immediately know the facts. that there is no better pizza that exists on planet Earth. You know that right off the bat. For someone who eats a lot of pizza, I knew instantly. I said, this is the best pizza that exists. You know that. But then you're like, why? Because all of the things are all of the things in every other facet of pizza. You're like, okay, all of these things exist, and all the pizzas in the world are made of these things. But yet nothing even comes close. And I've eaten delicious pizza, but nothing even nothing even crests on the fault line of the magnitude of this beauty. Like, it's so interesting because it's a cheese pizza, but it's the most perfect thing that I've ever had. And then you're like, okay, so where does he get these ingredients? And then you realize it has nothing to do with any of that stuff. It's this guy who makes the pizza. It has nothing to do with any of that other stuff. He could very well get all his crap at Costco. I don't know. Or care. Or he could have like a porthole to Italy. I don't know how any of that works. But like, it's this man who makes the pizza. And then I'm like, this is insanity. It's like having a Jimi Hendrix. I was telling you. It's like having somebody of that magnitude, like a Jimmy or any of those, actually alive and doing the best thing and doing it every day. And then you come to realize, why am I not here every day? It's untouchable. I gotta go to the bathroom now, I think. Should I take off this thing? I'm gonna take off this thing, yeah?
Yeah.
You know what it is? Know what happened?
What?
Oh, I don't know. I had an amazing morning with you.